What up guys, my name is Kong and today I'm going to be talking about The Fortress. The Fortress. It isn't a foreign movie, I believe it's a Korean movie. And I watched it with my brothers. There's two past movies I watched it with my brothers. But this movie is essentially about the fortress and it's about, I think this place in Korea, I would say North Korea. Not the North Korea of today, North Korea of the past. I believe so. I think it is like northern Korea. But this movie really talk about take place in the 1700s, about a war between the Queen and then the I guess you could say the North Korean, the people of the North Korea, of Korea. Let's just say people of Korea, because North Korea is not a lot of people know. A lot of people know that it's North Korea. It's just not the North Korea we're talking about. So I'm gonna call it the old people, the old Korea, the royal Korea. So let's talk about what I did like about this movie. What the good thing about this movie? I like the character here are. There, you don't quite see a lot of character, but you do see small characters. What did I mean by small character? That they live in such a they live in a world where the majesty is the king or the emperor is the supreme. He can take people out, take them out, like literally kill them. He could punish them. So there's not much to see, but you can tell in their voice, you can tell them their action, especially towards the end. So I like that. It's almost like a dictatorship or a authoritarian regime, but it's not really. It's the monarchy, is ruled by the kings and queens, but in this case it's by the king. So I like that. What else I really like is I like that we are solely focused on the battle between the two factions. I like that, and then I like you get to see how a battle will go out. How resources are being used, how morale is affected, how they need to use the land. How do they need to defend, how they're gonna eat. So all of that, they really show to you the nitty-gritty of war. It's like you don't quite see this level of details. It's so interesting. I've seen so many film of war filming. They don't show this kind of level of explaining all the details of war. People at the front line suffering from the cold. The guns don't work well because they're not straight. What else? They don't have enough food. They are not warm enough. Those are the sort of thing that we as the audience don't ever, we don't ever get to hear that. Only your local commander or the area commander or the field commander would hear, not the supreme leader or the supreme being. Not being mean, I mean the kings and the queen. I call it supreme being because that's what this movie. When they refer to the majesty, he is like the supreme being. So this movie really show you the nitty gritty of that, and they also show you they ask how the king would talk to his subject, or to his I would say his, not his confidant, but more of his general. I would say it's more like they're his general, or I would say general. I would say that's an appropriate word for them. I think the word in the movie they use minister, but I would consider them general because they are listened by the majesty, by the king himself. And so you get to see the dialogue between the king and his general. And it does the same thing with the kings and the general on the other side too. Not so much, but you get to hear a lot more with the Korean and their whole effort to defend from the Queen, the Queen army. So it's very, very, very good. You see all the details, you see the conversation, you see how they're gonna resolve certain issues, small issues, but then it's big issues. So it's very, very, very good. What did I like? I just in this movie is brutal. Is not ashamed of it, and I like that. It's like, you know, this is what happened during the 17th War when there was bows and arrows and sword, and really interesting because this is kind of like, I would say, the turning point of history. You know, when men go with weapon, like, you know, bullets and bomb and cannon, instead of the old traditional style swords and bow. So you get to see here is we use here. What else? I like the whole suspicious tonality behind it. You can tell there's a lot of distrust because there's a lot of stake. You can tell in this movie. So that's what I like about this movie. There's a lot of stake. There's a lot of suspicion. A lot of conversation between the kings and his generals. So I like that here a lot. It's so well done, so well written in a way that you can understand what's going on, the conversation, the what need to be done. It's really well done. It's like one of the more foreign movie that I actually appreciate and enjoy watching. So what the thing I don't like about this movie is that there's not much, but I wish we got to know, just to see a little bit more on the other side, to really understand the two different perspectives, how the two philosophies different, what are their mentality or their battle strategy, so to speak. So we see a little bit here, especially on the Korean side. We don't get to see on the opposing side, excuse me, but we don't get to see that, and I would like to see that more because it's the two sides. I would like to see it. What else I did not like? It's just that some of these characters here are just not memorable enough, not enough to care. I mean, I do just a little bit, but it just doesn't seem. None of the general really stands out. Even the king himself doesn't quite stand out. It just seems there's no life to the characters. There is life, but there is not as it doesn't feel like these characters are enriching. They feel a little flat. I don't know if that's the culture of the Korean people back in the early 1700s. I don't know. I can't tell. I didn't live back then, but it's just the characters didn't quite have variety. Just in the movie, like, yes, you could still, and even in their voice, it doesn't convey tonality. It's more of, you see the action that set the tonality, but it's not the voice that set the tonality. And the king exhibit a little bit of this here, the tonality of his power. A little bit, but you don't get to see the color of the different generals that this king listened to. I wish we got to see a little bit more. So, what would the rating I give this movie, guys? I give it a 7 out of 10. It's really a good movie. It's a really good foreign movie. It's a good foreign war movie, and I'm surprised that this hasn't been on my radar until my brother we decided to watch it. It's one of the better executed movies about, you know, foreign war in the old days. So it's a good movie, guys. It's 7 out of 10. I highly recommend you watch The Fortress. Again, the movie is called The Fortress. Anyway, guys, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of content for you guys to check out. Please do so. Thank you so much, and take care, guys. Bye-bye.